Hey guys, what's up? This is the Bull here. This morning, I am cleaning up the whole garden. I'm taking out all the diseased fruit on here. I am cutting back the plants. I'm stripping them completely, and I'm going to cut them low, and I'm going to rejuvenate the soil so that the plants can get a lot of new nutrients and have all the disease stuff off of them. I'm going to go ahead. I was trying not to spray as much as possible, and I haven't sprayed at all actually this season. So now I am going to spray some natural home remedies to kill these bugs off, okay, and to kill all these worms, because all these tomatoes here were attacked by the worm at this point here. They're all loaded with holes. None of them are any good. I don't care if one looks pretty good now. At this point, I don't even want to mess with them. They're loaded with worms, and I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to show you the ugly part of gardening. It's ugly, but at the same time, it's enjoyable, because you learn every season how to combat and how to deal with issues that arrive on you, right? So you try different things. Like I tried not spraying as long as I could. Now I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to now take everything off. I'm going to strip all these plants down, and I'm going to get these plants back to, because the season's still long, so I'm going to get these plants growing back and giving me some tomatoes now. Now I got a lot of tomatoes off of them. It's not like I didn't get no tomatoes, but now what I have on here, they're just loaded with worms. So that's the ugly part of it. But the fun part about it, as it is ugly, is enjoyable. I'm going to cut all these stems back, right? I'll show you real quick here. And all these tomatoes on here, they have worms on them. I am collecting them because I'm going to throw them over to the chickens and let the chickens go through them, eat what they want. You know, they'll eat everything, you know, the chickens. And they're going to enjoy those worms that are inside these tomatoes. So that's how I'm paying you back. Destroy my continuous harvest, but you're going to pay the price. But at the same time, like I said, you know, that's part of life. That's how nature is. It's done for a reason, and I ain't complaining. I'm just part of it. I'm going to go ahead and do what I have to do to continue growing and continue doing what I love. Just because the worms ruined these plants doesn't mean I don't enjoy gardening. It's still still part of it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to trim these right back there. And the season is long, like I said, and we're going to let these guys there. We're going to fertilize these guys up. We're going to go ahead and spray all these stems up here with some homemade remedy. And also, I am going to go ahead and spray my pepper plants before they start getting all bit up and all that from the worms, because I've seen a few holes in them now, and the peppers have just got a lot of young peppers on them, and I want to make sure that I harvest all of them. This is one of the main things that I love growing, is bell peppers, because they're so important in the kitchen, and they're so much fun to grow. So. And the eggplants behind there, they're all coming along now. So let me harvest these tomatoes off of here. Get them off of here. I'm going to clean this area up real good. I'm going to spray these stems real good. I'm going to spray the soil down there and just kill off anything that's in there. So at the same time, when I did this, I took some cuttings off of the plants that look healthy, and I'm going to also plant some young suckers off to the side, you know, just in case these plants here don't recover as well as I like. So you always got to have that plan B behind you. So let me get these out the way for a second here, clean up a little bit. All right, guys, so let me show you a little bit here. So you say your garden is all pretty, 247, never no issues. Don't fake the funk. We are all busy. We all got things going on in our lives, and we love to garden. We love to do as best as we can, right? But the bugs, the diseases outdo us all the time because they're 247, and we are just young earthlings trying to do our best to grow food. So, but let me show you what let me show you these tomatoes that are really chewed up, and they're here. They're down at the bottom here. Now let me show you, right? If you have a weak stomach, this is your chance to turn around, okay? So when your tomatoes, right, are attacked heavily, right, by these worms, and it doesn't take long. If you're not continuously spraying your plants, and even then you might not completely solve that problem, right? But we are all busy. So what happens is when we get busy and we don't stay on top of every single thing possible, because you can't, it is too much, especially when you have a bigger garden. But let me show you how some of these nasty worms can do to your tomato plants, and then they will spread over to your peppers, and they'll, before you come out at night, during the daytime, you'll see all kinds of holes in them. Then you come out at night and you look around real carefully, and you'll see little worms on your leaves munching away. But we now on the second round here, we're gonna deal with these guys here. Okay, so let me show you what they do. You see how disgusting, despicable these worms are? And they don't just start off with these worms, right? Because they start off with the co-host. These are caused, right, by the moth. This is actually a fruit moth, right, that creates this. It lays eggs on your plant, on your tomatoes and on the vines, wherever it lays the eggs, right? But then the worm, which is actually a caterpillar, it'll turn into a caterpillar and it'll drill holes into your tomatoes. And they look disgusted. So this is your last chance. If you want to turn around, or just give it a little squinch, a little peek, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some of you out there like, oh, and you can't see this kind of stuff, but that's the truth right there of what you may have in your garden as well, because they're everywhere. And if you're not spraying, even if you spray, they'll still lay eggs, and if they get killed, they get killed. But if they continue their process of, you know, laying eggs and continuing their journey, that's what they'll do. But anyway, let me pull one out here, and this is a large one here, and this caterpillar right here will just continue the process of, you know, Uh-oh, it's biting me. It's biting me. So this guy right here will continue. He'll do his thing, cocoon into whatever, and turn back into another moth. Afterward, this one here is going to moth heaven once the chickens get a hold of him. So this is actually a caterpillar, right? This is what they turn into. You'll have little teeny ones as well, drilling holes in. As they munch away, they just get bigger and bigger. So anyway, that's what they look like. They come out at night and just eat up your beautiful tomatoes. Now this is a good sized tomato. This would have been a nice, beautiful tomato. It got a lot bigger and starting to ripen right now. But she's just full of holes, and inside of her, she probably has a few caterpillars in there munching away at all the goodies inside. They like tomatoes as well. So that's what they look like. So they're not actually flies, right? They're moths that do this to your tomatoes. So I'm gonna put her back in there so she can get eaten up by the chickens. So I'm gonna continue. What I'm doing right now, like I said, I'm gonna clean this area up. I trimmed all these plants back, and I'm gonna see if I can rejuvenate them to start putting out new shoots and put out some tomatoes, because the season's still long. Still got a few months left. But at the same time, let's see. I took some cuttings already, right? Took some cuttings off of some of these plants there, and we're gonna get them put them into the soil. Just keep the soil moist, and they'll root in about less than a week. They'll start rooting and start growing. And I'm gonna grow these right next to each one of these vines that I trimmed back, just in case I see the vines not doing what I expect them to do. Then I know these ones here will follow behind, and then I just cut the remainder of those vines out and let these tomato plants continue growing, and just continue doing what you do. It's your garden. You do what you want in your garden, and try different things all the time. There's no trick that you can't try in your garden. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But always think outside the box. Always think that you can do something with your plants, and try new things. Try new fertilizers. Try new mixes and whatever. And try things that actually are not made for that plant, but it may be made for flowers. But it may make your tomato plants bloom like crazy. So try different things, and enjoy your day, the rest of your day, and God bless. And we'll see you around. Get back in here. So we're gonna go ahead and go pay the chickens a visit. Then I'm gonna come back in here and finish up.